Hi Year 2. This is our lesson for Tuesday of week 2. It's our writing lesson. In our writing this term so far, we have concentrated on writing about Australia. We've been learning about Australia and using our writing to help us formulate our ideas. This term, this week, and today's lesson in particular, we are learning to plan, compose, and write a persuasive text. A persuasive text is one that convinces somebody of an idea. Now, to do that, we need to read and interpret information about a place. We then need to plan and organize our writing and our ideas, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And we need to use a variety of sentences, simple and compound sentences, which we've looked at. Some of you will even be able to use complex sentences. Now, simple and compound sentences we have used in class quite a bit. So I'm sure that in last term, term 3, you were using them, and we were even using them in term 2. And lastly, we need to use emotive language, language that helps people feel something, which is really important. So to be able to do this task, you need to go to this QR code symbol, and this will take you to the Kids Cyber. Now, we've used Kids Cyber, and it's a great website and has information for kids to read. It's really great for Year 2 kids and just kids in general, because it has really great language, easy to understand, and lots of good ideas. Now, your task is to imagine that I've never ever been to Sydney. I know I have, but let's pretend that I haven't. Your task is to write a persuasive text telling me why Sydney would be a great place to visit. You should include in your writing what I could do there, where I could go, what I could see, a bit of history, what about what the weather could be like, and any other interesting things about Sydney. I've given you in your booklet a scaffold. A scaffold is a plan that helps us do our writing. So we can plan it, organize it, and have some great ideas. So let's have a look at our scaffold. This is the planning sheet you were given, and you can see that it has a space to put your name and the date and a title. Now you can always come back to the title. You don't have to write this straight away. Name and date, yes. The title you can come back to. And you can see this is what we call a hamburger scaffold, because we have the bun at the top and the bottom, and we have all the filling for our sandwich or our hamburger in the middle. Our ideas go in the middle. We have who is persuading, what is the argument, and this is part of our introduction. We then have our first point, our second point, and our third point. And this E means for elaborate or explain. So we've got an idea, we give an explanation. Same idea, another explanation or another reason. And we do that with our second point, and we do that with our third point, and then we bring it all together. So let's have a look at this. So I've put my name in here, Mr. Fasten. I'll fill in the date later. I'll fill in the title later. Who is persuading? So for this one, because I don't need to persuade myself, I'm going to persuade Year 2. So it's Mr. Fasten, persuade Year 2. And what is the argument? Well, the argument or the idea is that Sydney is a great place to live or visit. So that's my idea. Mr. Fasten is persuading Year 2. And what is the argument? That Sydney is a great place to live or to visit. So let's think about my first point. Okay, so why is Sydney a great place to live and visit? Well, I think that Sydney has a great harbour, that it's built around. I think that one of the great features about Sydney is the harbour. It's a beautiful waterway. So, what can I say about it? Well, the obvious thing is that the harbour bridge. Harbour bridge is very world famous. Everybody knows what the harbour bridge looks like. Many people around the world. And I know, because I did some other reading, that it was built a long time ago. It was built in 1932. That's a long time ago. What else? Oh, well, I know that there is the Opera House. It's got famous sail-shaped roof. And I know, because when it was being built, it was very, very controversial. And I know that it was built in 1973. So that's my first idea, that Sydney has a great harbour. And there could be a lot of other things about the harbour that I could write. I could write about the beaches in the harbour. I could write about sailing in the harbour. So there's many other things. What else? What's my second point? Well, I know that Sydney has great weather. Sydney has great weather. So, what's great about Sydney's weather? Well, we can go to the beach or go to the river or in our waterways. Really at any time of the year. It doesn't get cold and snowy like it does in some other countries. So Sydney has got beaches and rivers and waterways. We can use them almost at any time of the year. Can't probably use them in the middle of winter, although lots of people do. But we're pretty lucky in that regard. And because it doesn't snow, means that we're not stuck inside. So we can be outside for sport and activities all year round. In some countries, when kids go to school, they've got so much snow that they have to do their sport inside. They can't go outside for play lunch, they can't go outside for sport, and they have to play inside, which is really, really difficult. Well, that's my 2 points. What's my third point? You know what else? Sydney has great transport. Sydney has great transport. Transport is really important because we have great trains. Our trains are quick. They're clean. Most of them are really, really quite clean. And we have trains fairly often. We're very lucky that we get trains fairly often. Some countries have trains that are even more often, like Japan, and in some parts of New York, they have trains that come really often. But for most times, our trains are pretty good. And our roads are pretty good too. Our roads are great. They're good surface. They're good roads. They have a good surface, and it's easy to find our way around. Easy to find our way around. So, this is my planning sheet. I haven't yet planned my conclusion yet because I have to think about it, but my biggest one is I have to support my argument that Sydney is a great place to live. So here's my planning ideas. That's not my work finished. I have a lot more to do. I then have to take these ideas and write them out really carefully in proper sentences. Let's have a look back here. And I said to myself that I have to use simple and compound sentences and emotive language. So if you haven't done this yet, you need to stop the video here. So I'll give you a few moments to hit stop on your video, and you're going to come back when you have tried to do your planning sheet. Hi, welcome back. Hopefully you now have got your ideas and all planned out on your planning sheet. I went away and I wrote my ideas. I've typed mine up. You don't have to type yours up, but this is what I came up with. So let's have a look at what I have. I didn't have a title before. Now I do have a title. Why Sydney is a great place to visit or live. And I've written Persuasive Writing Task, Mr. Fasten, October 12th, 2021. I didn't have the date there before. So let's have a look at what I did. I said that, who am I persuading? I'm persuading year 2. And I've written here, this is my introduction in red. I've made it in different colours so that you can see what I'm working on. Year 2, Sydney is a great place to either visit or live. If you've never been to Sydney, let me tell you about some of its wonderful features, and then I'm sure you'd agree that it's a great place. Hey, I remember over here I had to use emotive language. And look, I did. I have said that it is wonderful and great. Now these are great words because this is emotive language. So here's my first point. Sydney has a great harbour that it's built around. And here I've written, firstly, Sydney is built around a great harbour. When you arrive at Circular Quay, you immediately notice the world famous harbour bridge, built in 1932, and the Opera House with its roof designed to look like sails of a ship on the harbour. These are wonderful sights. Nothing else is like them in the world. Hey, I've looked back at my success criteria. I have used my simple and my compound sentences. Here's a nice little sentence. It is a bit of a that's called a clause, and it's a complex sentence. When you arrive at Circular Quay, you immediately notice the world famous harbour bridge built in 1932 and the Opera House with its roof designed to look like sails of a ship on the harbour. And that's a much longer sentence. I'm using a variety of sentences, and I have used my points that I made. Here's my second point. I said that Sydney has great weather. Secondly, Sydney has great weather, which makes it suitable to be outdoors all the year round. With great weather, you can go to the wonderful beaches and rivers for swimming and water sports. Sydney doesn't have any snow in winter like many other countries do, so we're able to comfortably go outside during winter to enjoy the many parks and fun things to do. At school, we can play in the playground all year round, and I have used all my ideas from my planning sheet. My third point is that Sydney has great transport. Thirdly, Sydney has great public transport. Trains are mostly safe, quick, clean, and run on time. Notice my use of the commas. There are many roads that make driving around Sydney easy and quick. The road signs are easy to read and help people get around the city. And there's my points there. And I didn't have many ideas in my conclusion other than Sydney is a great place to live. So here is my conclusion. In conclusion, Sydney has a wonderful harbour, great beaches and rivers, very good weather for outdoor living all year round, and great transport to get us around this city. It's a great place to live. So now, you two, this is my finished, completed task. I have used my punctuation. I have used my emotive language. I have used some short sentences, some long sentences, and I have used a variety of sentences. Hopefully, you have learnt a little bit and your writing will be just as wonderful. Have a great day.